Hey everyone, in this video we're going to go over how to leak routes between VPNs in Cisco's SD-WAN. So what I have here is my VPN or my SD-WAN network in GNS3, and I have two vEdge routers that are connected to three. Well, they're routers, but we can consider them hosts. Basically, what we have is R1 and R2 are in VPN 1, and then R3 is in VPN 2. So it's the only one in VPN 2. The three hosts are connected on these links through OSPF. So basically the way it's working is that, let's say, for example, vEdge 2 to send routes down to R2 is going to be over OSPF, and down to R3 is also going to be over OSPF. So that doesn't really matter too much. It's just when I show the commands and verifying the routes, I wanted to let you know that's how it works. So basically what we're going to do is, as the network current stands, R2 can connect to R1, but R3 cannot. R3 can go to the vEdge, but it can't go any further because there's nothing else in that VPN. So we can verify this if I go to R2 and I do a show IP route OSPF, and we can see the 10.11 networks. That's actually coming from R1. So if we go to R3 and we do the same thing, show IP route OSPF, we can see we don't have that network. And I'm not doing anything fancy. This is just, I'm leaving everything at the default. So what we want to do is we want to pretend that these three devices are at one physical location. And for one reason or another, we want R3 to be able to connect to R2. Maybe like a printer or something. That being said, we don't want R3 to be able to connect out into R1 or through any other devices on VPN 1. So we're going to want to do something where we can leak the routes from R2 and R3, across the VPNs. So what we have to do is go into vManage, go down to policies, and we need to create a centralized policy. So since I don't have one, we just click Add Policy. And the first thing we could do is look at our lists. I already created site lists, so site 11 is actually site 1, which is vEdge 1, and site 22 is vEdge 2. I don't really need to walk you through creating that. It's pretty easy. So I'm going to go back to vManage, and what we could do is, well, I don't need to create any other lists. I think we'll create them while I'm going through. So let's click Next, and under Configure Topology, we're going to add a topology, and we're going to do a custom control policy. And I'm just going to name this one Route Leak, and we'll just give it a quick description of route leaking. And now we're going to create our sequences, which is basically like a route map in regular iOS. So we create the first sequence, and what I need to do is I need to match the routes and the prefixes that I want to send over. So in this case, we're going to be matching the VPN. And I don't have a VPN list yet, so I'll just create one. And this will just be VPN 1. And the only VPN there is 1, so it's not that complicated. Save that. And I need to do one more thing, and that's a prefix list. So I don't want to send all routes from VPN 1. I just want to send the specific prefix, which in this case should be 10.22, but let me just show IP interface brief, exclude unassigned. Yes, we're going to do the 10.22.1 network. So new prefix list, we'll just name the prefix R2. Again, it should be 10.22.1.0/24. Let me just double check that. Yep, okay. So we'll save that. And then we got to remember to select the prefix list. So now we go over to Actions. We're going to accept, just like in a route map, and we're exporting the routes to a VPN list. In this case, we need to create a new VPN list, which I forgot to select over here. A new VPN list. And this one will be VPN 2 and just 2. And now I could select this, save match actions. And now we are exporting the prefix list in VPN1, and we're exporting it to VPN2. So now I need to create another sequence rule to do the opposite. So again, VPN. This time I'm going from VPN2, but no prefix list because we're going to do everything. And then accept. We're going to export it to VPN1. Perfect. Now the last thing you need to do is go to the default action, and I'm going to change this from reject to accept. And this is similar to, like, your route map permit all or permit 20, when it's blank. We're just making sure everything else uses the default action of accept. We don't want to just block all the routes. So now I could save our control policy. And now that I have the control policy saved, what I need to do is go next. I'm not doing any traffic policies. And now we kind of create, we have to apply the policy. And we have to give it a name. And this is kind of, our central policy. And this is kind of like a policy package. So we could do multiple control policies and then package them together and send them down. So here's our route leak policy that we created. And what I need to do is create a new site list. Well, I don't need to create the site list. I need to add the site list and apply it to site 22 only. Now this is inbound, and I'm going to click add. And the reason it's inbound is because it's actually coming from the vSmart, or from the site to the vSmart in that direction. So remember, if it's inbound, it's from vSmart's perspective, from the site to the vSmart. If it was outbound, it'd be going the opposite direction, from the vSmart to the site. So let's go back in. Now we have it. Let's save the policy. Well, actually, I'll preview it first, just so if you wanted to take a look at the, this is what it's actually going to do. It's going to push these CLI commands to the vSmart. So I'm going to save, and it's not actually activated yet. So what I need to do is activate the policy. And now this is going to be sent to the vSmart. And you can see it there, hostname vSmart1. So what I'm going to do is vEdge2 to the vSmart, and then it's going to be sent back. Okay. So it's success. It's done. Let's go ahead and take a look at R2 again. Let's show IP route OSPF. And now we see we have some 1033 routes coming from R3, which we didn't have before. So if we go to R3, we saw we had no routes before, and now we have that one prefix, the 102210 prefix that we leaked. So I can ping over to it just to make sure the traffic works. And it should be .1. Yep. Okay. And there it is. So just like that, we're able to use a policy and leak routes between two VPNs or VRFs in SD-WAN. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. I will link my SD-WAN setup course just in case you're unfamiliar. It's a good course to go through to take a look at how SD-WAN works. But that's it for me. Hope to see you on the next one.